Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
All right, guys, welcome back to the Fake Ass Book Club. I'm your host, Moni.
And I'm Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni.
What's up?
I'm just, reeling from a recent death in the family.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
It
We're going there right away, huh?
Yeah.
Just getting right into
people,
it. Well,
people
wow.
want to know the truth. That's what they come here for.
Do they?
No, my pet cat died.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How'd
it's
that
okay.
go?
She was a good kitty. It went as well as it possibly could have, for staring into the eyes of death.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's going to be a real one. I mean, as you can see, we're just getting right into it.
And you can see we have a guest. This guy over here.
We do. And so this week, guys, we're talking about Octavia Butler's best-selling book, Fledgling, which was recommended to us by fellow podcaster and guest on our show today, Dyke Micheals. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. So do you mind giving like a formal introduction to our listeners who may not be familiar with you?
Sure. My name is Dyke Micheals. I'm a Indianapolis-based comedian, podcaster, bootleg chef.
Bootleg. I don't know about that. I've tasted your food and it was
official.
pretty official out here. So
I have a show called Harder Brunch where we have guests come on and we cook like an elaborate brunch, and then we do a podcast right afterwards. And you two have been a guest on my podcast, so it's real exciting to do it the other way around here.
I know.
Yes. Thanks for
I podcast all the time,
Do you
but
really?
like
You're,
being a
hardcore.
guest on a podcast is still like, oh, this is wild. Everything's different. Like,
I know.
everything's in a
You're
different
not in
place.
control. I know. Listen, we've been doing this for 2 years and we feel like that every week.
Yeah.
It's like, I promise we've done this before.
It's like,
But,
what?
yeah, we have mom brains and it's like,
And
I'm
when
tired.
when you say
4 hours
we,
of
who's
sleep.
the other part of your podcast?
Oh,
Yeah.
my co-host Thaddeus J. McKee. He's also a comedian, and we're both roommates too. So
Oh, that is so fun. It sounds like
Those
a
are
buddy
adorable.
comedy.
it is. It is a buddy comedy every day. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Nice.
Well, I love it. I love it. Your show was amazing. We had such a good time on your show. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
'cause
you.
That was a lot of
And-
fun.
And you guys are real ones. You like, come out, and you guys have come out to like live shows, and
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we're out
We pop
here.
out.
Yeah.
every time people see me in public with you guys, they don't think that we're actually friends.
Why?
I don't know. Like
They're like, what?
there was so much talk about the beautiful black women that were at the show.
Oh.
Like Mandy was very embarrassed that we were kind of playfully pushing her into some light racism.
Let's go.
Oh,
Oh no, that
were.
was hilarious.
She's
I
a
love
very
that
good
so
sport.
much. I would love for her to come here so we can do the same thing to her. She did so
would.
good.
Or let her do that to us.
That
Just
too.
Turnabout is fair play.
My God, yeah, she was adorable.
Make
But
us-
you guys' live show was really good
It
too. By the
was.
way.
Thank
That's
you.
fun.
It was super fun. And then Kat actually came into one of my jobs as I'm a bartender at a wedding venue.
Oh, nice.
And somebody from my work was like, because we like Kat and I were like chopping it up outside for like a second, and somebody was like, "You need to stop harassing the guests."
Whoa.
And it's like, no, I know
It's
her.
like for real,
from
though.
my other job.
God.
No, and I also popped up on you on a comedy show.
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen you
yeah.
do stand up as well.
Look at this.
You have a lot of jobs,
We're
sir.
becoming
I'm everywhere.
Goodness. Wow. Well, listen, I had a great time on your show. We felt very welcome. I loved your group of friends. I felt like you had a really eclectic and diverse group of friends, which was really refreshing. Like, I loved that a bunch. And like, I was like, I want to be friends with everyone here. We're all friends.
It's like
now,
we're all
so.
friends now.
Yeah, it was really dope. So thanks for joining us on the show. And so the book that you recommended today was Fledgling by Octavia Butler. We've reviewed already 2 of her books. So this is the 3rd one because we like her a lot around here. So I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about what this book is. So Fledgling, it's the story of an apparently young girl with amnesia whose alarmingly inhuman needs and abilities lead her to a startling conclusion. So here's the spoiler, guys. Put the air horns in there, Kat.
Oh, yeah, we do not
Pew,
do...
pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, spoilers
Okay.
all through this.
It's happening, okay? She is, in fact, a genetically modified 53-year-old vampire. That's weird, right? Okay, so forced to discover what she can about her stolen former life, she must at the same time learn who wanted and still wants to destroy her and those that she cares for, and how she can save herself. Fledgling is a captivating novel that tests the limits of otherness and questions what it means to be truly human. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was like, okay, Dyke. I didn't know. I did not know
what we were
reading
stepping
about
into.
Birds. No. So I was like, yo.
Because you had mentioned before you like time travel.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what would have been really cool, you should read Kindred. Because that's her time travel novel.
That's intense.
It is.
So a full disclosure, I was trying to impress y'all, and I was like, okay, I like sci-fi. That's where I lean. So I was like, I want to find a black woman sci-fi writer.
Let's go.
And that's how I found out there's not many black women sci-fi writers. And so I was like, yeah, Octavia Butler gets cool. We've read 2 of her books already. And I was like, oh,
okay.
I thought I was
out here in the streets right now.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Were though.
I told him not to test our nerd cred.
Well, yours. You can test mine. It's fine because I'd never heard of it, but I was excited.
Yeah. I was just excited to read another one of her books because I've even read some of her books not for the podcast, where I was just like, oh, because I think after we read Dawn, I wanted to read the rest of I keep calling it the Xenomorph series. That's not what it is.
It's something similar.
Xenogenesis series.
I was gonna say, no, that sounds right.
No, Xenomorph is from Alien.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, it's real similar.
Yeah, but I mean, fantastic pick. I did not know we were getting into sexy vampires, which is one of my favorite genres of books. I read all the Anne Rice novels in the high school we went to together.
Yeah.
Dyke and I we met in the 1900s and didn't know it.
That is wild.
Talk about time travel.
Yeah, it was a log cabin.
Right. Where we all went to school. There was a school marm, Sister Rita.
So was there like whale oil lamps in the halls, in the corridors?
Actually, there wasn't air conditioning.
No.
Oh.
No, only in the computer lab in the office.
We would have days off in August if it was too hot. It's too hot to have school.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It would be unethical to keep that many people in
right.
the
It's like, actually, you can't do this. This is against the law. This is abuse.
But no, because I've always been a nerd, and school at a certain point bored me because they weren't teaching me enough. I would always just sit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. I would sit in class and read Anne Rice vampire novels. Did you ever read any of those? I
did. I had a job. It was one of my first line cook jobs, and you'd come in and prep for 3 hours, and then the restaurant wouldn't open till 5.
Oh god.
And so if you got all your prep done, there wasn't really anything to do. I guess you were supposed to be cleaning or something.
Sure.
But they had.
That's how men think.
They had this
it's a kitchen with nothing to do
or something.
Yeah. I guess I was supposed to be doing something. I was also in my early 20s, so I was a real shitbag. But they had a bunch of books that were just used as props in the restaurant of the hotel.
Ooh.
And I would just go out and I would read. So I read a few Anne Rice novels because I remember they had it was one of those it wasn't Interview with the Vampire, but I remember I'd seen the movie, so I read another Lestat book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then there was
that was Tom Cruise in the original.
There was a book called Memnoch the Devil.
I read that.
And I was like, oh, I love the way she writes, and
she was good.
Just kind of cool takes on, supernatural stuff. So I've always liked the genre. I used to also play a role-playing game when I was a kid that was called Kindred the Embraced, and it was
Kindred the Embrace.
Wow.
And it was about vampire. There's different clans of vampires, different families, and they all had certain powers, and they
sounds epic.
But they played in my high school when I transferred to Ben Davis, and it was a game that was going on the whole year. You would just continually play it.
Why do I feel like he would vibe with my older brother?
Big time. Big time.
Hardcore.
I mean, I'm jealous.
He went to Ritter for 2 years.
I don't know. He's your brother.
Yeah, I think it's 2. It's me thinking out loud. Yeah. I want to say.
I saw him around for sure.
Yeah, he was there.
But yeah, that's wild. So yeah, did you know this was a vampire novel?
I think I Googled something about it because I was looking through some of her books. No, I think maybe I just picked it because it was her most recent one.
Yeah, I think that's her last one.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were honest about how you picked it because I'm like, man, how in the world? Because I'm like, did he know what it was about before he picked it? That's what I was wondering.
No.
Yeah. So I actually love that. That's actually a really great.
I knew
story.
it was sci-fi, and I knew the author was a Black woman, and
that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of our author,
good segue,
Octavia Butler was an American science fiction author and a multiple recipient of the Hugo and Nebula Awards. In 1995, Butler became the first science fiction writer to receive a MacArthur Fellowship. Born in Pasadena, California, Butler was raised by her widowed mother and was dyslexic.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm always very impressed by dyslexic writers. That's just one more hurdle, especially back in the olden days. And yeah, she died back in 2006.
Dang, man. All right. Well, listen, and I feel like a lot of her stuff now is getting turned into like adaptations.
Mm-hmm. It's getting options.
Yeah, because Kindred, I know, I think Ava DuVernay is going to do Dawn for Amazon.
Fabulous.
I saw that on their website. I'll put that in the notes, you guys, if you want to check out, some of her stuff being turned into kind of current stuff. So I feel like we should get into it. So you did pick this book. You already told us why, because I was going to kind of start there. But I want Kat to kind of, do you want to do the beat by beat? Do you want to just ruin it for everybody first and then just go back? Or should we just kind of slowly
sometimes help as we talk about it.
I think so too.
People know who the characters are.
Right,
and hold up. Let me, before I do that though.
Oh, we got to dedicate.
We do.
I'm tripping. You guys. Let's dedicate this episode, you guys. Hands over your hearts. All right, guys. So welcome back to the Fake Ass Book Club. You guys, thank you so much. I want to dedicate this week's episode to our patrons, as always. You guys, we really appreciate your support. If you have not signed up for our Patreon, what are you waiting for? It's super weird. We have lots of bonus content. If you want to catch some of the footage of us speaking with Dyke before the show, you guys should sign up. I'll leave all that stuff in the notes. Also, I wanted to take this opportunity, you guys, to let you know that we're going to be part of the 2023 IBE Summer Celebration this year. That's the Indiana Black Expo, which runs between July 14th and 16th this year at the Convention Center in downtown Indianapolis. And we're actually going to be on that Sunday. So that's the 16th from 3 to 4. We're doing a live show. It's going to be our first live show. That's pretty fun. Definitely. Like if you're a woman, if you're our age, you know what it is. If you're younger, if you're a woman of a certain age, you know what that means. But it's pretty iconic in our city, and so we're super excited to be a part of it this year. And their sort of theme this year is our legacy, our influence, and our culture. So we want to start a conversation about how all of those things impact literature, fashion, and art, which are three of our faves. So definitely support us and come out and see that. You'll see more stuff on our social media. So show us some love with that. And
Please
it's super long dedication, but Kat,
it was well deserved. Yes, and your dedication, I would like to dedicate this episode to everyone who came out to my drawing event last week. And especially Moni for coming out and stepping outside of your comfort zone and drawing, and for the lovely flowers which were provided by 55 Rose Street.
Yes,
those flowers, I'm so good at killing flowers. Those flowers are still I'm gonna throw up a picture right now. These flowers
beautiful.
are still gorgeous in my room. Like it's crazy.
Yes.
And thank you to Fee at Future Friends for having the venue, letting me host it there, and Aphrodite, our model.
Beautiful.
Brother to the Night for being the only guy who was brave enough to show up and participate.
It was very nice.
River, thank you for coming out. Dee, thank you for staying. Was that everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. That it was such a vibe,
It really
and
was.
it was the perfect thing for my birthday. I was so happy.
So
Yeah.
dedication over?
Dedication over.
Okay, I like it. We got to do another one of those, though. That was really
I
dope.
definitely want to do some more of those. Have you ever taken a drawing class, Dyke?
I can't. I have no artistic ability of
I didn't ask you
drawing.
that, Dyke.
Ooh.
The question was, Dyke, have you ever
not.
taken a drawing class?
No.
I'm gonna get you out
Me
there.
either.
Because that's the thing, like, even I was trying to tell people, even
was fun.
abstract, because it was a nude model.
Mm.
So even
You had talked about that before when you were over, and when you were like, I want to thank Moni for really stepping outside of her comfort zone. I was like, were you the nude model?
No,
I would never.
We had a pro.
Actually, I was feeling uncomfortable wearing shorts today. Okay, and all my things are basically
all the
covered
wobbly
up.
bits.
Yeah,
So
no.
because I was just saying, even abstract nudes are very compelling. When you think about like Picasso and stuff like that,
I could
like
do some blocks.
Yeah, just make the boobs into blocks.
Just observe, just drawing what you observe is very powerful, and I think it's very important for creatives.
Okay.
It was
You know
fun.
who's a really good visual artist? Michael Jackson. Like if you see his like notebooks and stuff, he could really
Michael
draw.
Jackson, really?
Mhm.
Okay,
He's
find
good.
it and put it out.
All
friend.
right.
You know,
All
just
right.
make
Yeah,
yourself
I'll do that
a note
later,
since
but
you're
I'm
talking
like,
about
there
it.
he is. Yeah.
All right,
He's
so
good.
let's get
That
into
boy
this
good.
book. Let's get into it real quick. So I want you to give the beat by beat of this book so people can kind of know the story. We're gonna ruin it. It's gonna be spoiled, you guys, and then we're gonna go back. So go ahead and let the people know what we got going on.
Our main character is Shuri. You wake up, it's very you wake up with her in the book. It's very disorienting. She's like, "Where's my hair? I'm so hungry. What is going on?" So she like immediately like kills and eats something. And then we're going through her. So it's the perfect what is it called? Exposition device, because she has amnesia, so she has to figure. We're learning stuff as she's learning stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I was thinking to myself, like, ooh, okay, so she's drinking blood. She sounds like a vampire, and somebody probably tried to kill her because it sounds like she was burned and stabbed and stuff, and that's how you kill vampires. So I was already. It is a bit of a reveal in the first chapter to find out, like, oh, this is a vampire.
I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, whoa. So, but she looks like a 11-year-old, but. So she gets picked up by this guy on the side of the road who's like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And he's like, "I think I need to take you to the hospital." She's like, "No, don't take me to the hospital." And she ends up biting him. And he was like, "Ooh, I like that. Do that again." And so he was like, and so she does. And so we don't find out later in the book, but pretty much whenever she bites somebody, they gotta do whatever she says to do because of her venom. Her venom makes people obey her. And so he's freaking out because he's like 23 or something. So he's like, man, I can't let people see me around this little girl or whatever. So it kind of plays with your mind because she looks like a little girl, but we find out later she's really 53. But she's but even for a vampire though, she's still an adolescent, so it's still a little weird. So she's trying to figure out like what happened to me, why am I like this, blah blah blah. She ends up finding out that she's like a hybrid experiment, like all of her family's been wiped out, and there's like this group of people who's trying to like kill her and everyone around her. And it's because she's like, because vampires are like, we want to be able to walk around in the daytime. Anybody watch Blade?
I like daytime.
Mm-hmm.
It was giving Daywalker.
Yeah.
It was heavy Daywalker vibe. So they were trying to make some Daywalkers, but the old school vampire guard were like, nah, it's an abomination. So, you know, they were like, you got to stay pure. Like, you know, so it's a whole thing. Yeah, it was definitely an allegory for eugenics. And so she ends up meeting up with some other vampires who are cool, who help her to figure out, piece her life together, help her figure out how to get a harem of symbionts, because she's got to basically have at least 8 humans that
lots of hoes.
She's
like, put it out there.
Was
just let them know.
I mean, I told you I was listening to that Ice-T interview.
Vampires are pimps.
Big time.
So I don't know why pimps and slavery come up on our show so much, but like I promise you,
It's
I was like, yo,
torture.
this is all about pimping right now, basically. This
Everything's
is like,
pimping. Wouldn't you agree, Dyke?
Sure.
Everything's pimping. Yeah, but Shuri's pimp hand was strong. And so she was a bit of a Mary Sue.
What does that mean?
So that's I don't know. I feel like I hate talking for this long. Do you want to describe?
No, you have to say it.
Go.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice. It's lovely.
Thank you. So it's a term from Star Trek fan fiction.
Wow, of course. Jeez.
Where it's basically an overpowered female character. Basically, like she can kind of do anything and is unstoppable.
Okay.
And so she's a bit of a Mary Sue, but I still enjoyed it. And so
that's a bad thing?
It's sometimes a criticism, but
I feel like all the male people in movies are that. So why is it a problem?
It's just
right, because they have all the answers every single time.
Well, no, sometimes a male character can be described as a Mary Sue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like sometimes Rick is described as a Mary Sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It can be a little like, because you just know going into anything.
Okay.
Like, they're
so
gonna be
like
super powerful.
you are.
I would like to think of myself as a Mary Sue.
I'm sure
I've
you
been
do.
pretty defeated though. Let's get back to the book.
Okay, fine.
So Shuri, what ends up happening? She ends up with a gaggle of hoes.
Yes, as one should.
And was basically able to suss out who was after her. But basically, to me, it was like mob movie too, because you get the families together. You got to have a sit down.
Then you had the CSI boy at the end. I mean, or whatever kind of criminal justice movie. I don't watch a lot of like dramas like that, but I was like, damn, we got the courtroom drama at the end.
Yeah, they have a tribunal. It was giving Twilight a little bit.
It kind of reminded me of that.
I mean, all the vampire stuff does relate to each other, because I think this is a natural thing that human beings do, is create these monsters. Because it's an allegory for sex. It's an allegory for power. It's an allegory for racism. It's all this stuff, metaphor, all this stuff. So it ends with her, she survives. One of her symbionts gets killed though, and that was really sad. Theodora, peace to her. But yeah, she ends up finding out, because I was mad the villain's name was Catherine.
I did remember that. That was great. It's like that raggedy bitch.
That raggedy bitch. So like, she was like, what? So I killed your bitch. What? Right. Why you mad?
And still was gonna flare up, wasn't gonna take. It was like, bitch, I'ma die trying.
So it's a shame she wasn't able to, because I felt like this would have been a good kind of like an Anne Rice kind of series. Like if she had like wrote kind of like.
I heard that like maybe they might to do more with it, but didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Death.
It's a bummer. But it was really cool how she incorporated technology in it. Since I'd read all of her older stuff, I was like, oh, is she talking about like some, she was like, we're going to record it, put it on the internet. I was like, oh.
She really did. I was like, damn, the internet was around when she.
Right. I had to, right. But it's like, yeah, 2006, that tracks. So yeah. Or wait, no, when was the book published?
I think it was 2005, and then she
2005. Okay, so yeah.
Right
so
up in there.
All that good stuff. So yeah, it pretty much just ends with her being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you for that bitch."
Is that how you remember it?
Yeah.
Is that how you remember it? Was that your final thoughts at the end?
I definitely had the thought that this was setting up like a larger universe.
Yeah, it felt like that for sure.
But then like when I was like reading the reviews too, because I was like, oh, I enjoyed it, like I enjoyed the book, but like everyone was like, not her best work, but it's still good, and it was like, I saw that written in so many different reviews after I read it that it made me want to go read her other books. And I'm like, okay, if this is the one that they think is mid.
Because it was pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, I want to go read the good books.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I know we rated at the end or whatever, but I do want to get into some of the themes that were in the book, because there were so many. And okay, so we have, and we can pick the ones we want to do. So, we have the identity and belonging situation, because obviously she's a human and a vampire sort of hybrid or whatever. And so,
well, and she's black. That was the thing. They gave her some melanin so she could be out in the daytime.
So do you think they did a good job of straddling those worlds? Like, was it believable? Like, I kind of like the fact that they took.
It was more believable than most vampire things.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
because it wasn't magic; it was science.
And I was like, oh, Kat's liking this, because they're giving theories, and we've got receipts, and it's not just mystical, magical bullshit.
It's like magical stuff in books.
I know, but I just was like, I felt like that might be a layer you might enjoy, and I thought it was interesting that they put like all this, like they had a history. Like I felt when I was reading this or listening to this, I was like, yo, she spent a lot of time like world building in this bitch. And I think I can appreciate that hard work, because you could tell that like she went into every aspect of building up like this vampire society, the rules, the culture, the family, all of the social stuff. And I was like, I appreciated that little detail. I thought she
did good what? I really enjoyed a line. It was glanced over, but it reminded me of another thing I like to bring up on the show.
Don't say.
She said the word germline. But another word for that would be microbiome.
Yeah, we need special music for that every time.
But it's true. I was like, Octavia, I love you, because that is an important part of heredity. Yeah. Like you get your microbiome from your people, and I think that's where a lot of your instincts come from.
Yeah, you do say that.
I do say that.
That's what she says. We need T-shirts to say it.
Microbiome.
You know,
get your microbiome.
Get it
merch
together. Yeah. Exactly, it's going hot.
It's important.
One of the nerdy things that I liked from the beginning of the book was just the idea that like because there's always like, that's a trope that she subverted a lot of tropes, because it's a very kind of like well-worn genre, right?
Oh God, yes.
So I like things like when you can kind of do something new. and surprising. So I like the idea of like, we all know vampires can take a lot of damage and like heal. But I like the idea of like how graphic the healing process was.
Oh yeah.
And I like the fact that her brain was destroyed. So that's what kind of caused the amnesia and her like struggling with everything the whole time, is because her brain was healing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never heard that take before.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
I did too. I thought I
So
really
points
liked
for
that.
creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, guys. So what do you think about the points of, we were talking about this, we describe her as a very young person. So she was presenting physically as like a 9 to 11 year old.
Prepubescent girl.
Yeah, flat chested, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, wasn't giving. But what did you guys think about that? Because I think that kind of gets into like the themes of consent and agency. And
well, for one, it makes you feel weird when you're reading the sex scenes.
Do you feel like that? Because I almost feel like that could be a separate trigger warning for people who aren't expecting to read about that. Because I think that I've also read some notes about people being like, I had a hard time reading this because they keep describing her as a small child. You know what I'm saying? Even though
Having
I knew
sex
that
with
she
adults.
wasn't like full out bussing it down. You feel me? With whole ass.
It was a
grown
little
men
Lolita-ish.
Yeah. What was your feeling about that? Like, was it?
So for one, I was prepared for it because I'm sorry, I read a lot of books. So shout out to the Bruz bookshelf. So when we read Pleasure Activism, this book was referenced.
Oh, really?
In it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so one of the people in the book were talking about how they get a lot of pleasure from reading, and they were going in depth about Octavia Butler. And then when she described Fledgling, she gave me a lot of spoilers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't know she was necessarily a vampire, but she was like a supernatural creature and was like presented. I knew that was what was going on. So to me, that was already spoiled, but it was still very good. But but it did make me feel weird.
Yeah, I felt icky.
It was
and I even had the idea in my head that was just like, am I like not smart enough to like be okay with this?
That,
you know, like I was like, no, but I think after I like read it and sat with it and then like looked at reviews, I think it was supposed to make you uncomfortable.
No,
you know? Like
big.
it was
When you read more of her stuff, she's trying, she's fucking with us, real hard, because it's she straddles the line of consent a lot, especially for men, because she uses these sort of supernatural extraterrestrial creatures who sort of who can overpower you, basically.
Yeah,
which is kind of not like
it's kind of nice,
but it's like
welcome to my world.
Right? Like,
it's a little scary.
That's where I was kind of, because when I was first reading it, I was really uncomfortable. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of like she's making these ghouls that are like her, because like with the first line where it was like something like he like undressed her or whatever, and I was like, I think I may be out.
I'm gonna have to tell them I didn't read anything.
And then I was like, oh, she's kind of like, she has these secretions and pheromones, and one, she is an adult, just in a weird.
Technically.
She's older than the people she's seducing.
Yes.
But again, that's always a trope that's in a lot of sci-fi stuff about people being de-aged into weird stuff. I mean, there was like a Star Trek episode where like.
Oh, you're gonna go there too.
Oh yeah, there was like a Star Trek episode where like
it's 2 against 1 today, Moni.
So
fine.
Like one of the characters' wife gets turned into a child, and then she's just like trying to be like.
Was that Miles and Keiko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trying to be like, lovey-dovey with it. And this is a TV show. It's not, they're not going to go all the way there, but she's just like kind of hanging on him, and he's like, no, we're not doing this.
It looks bad.
It looks bad. I don't want any part of it. It looks
really, really bad.
And it's like, really, put yourself in my position. Like, what if I looked like the 12-year-old version of myself and was trying to get with you?
Yeah. But
it's not sexy time, baby. We
got
to figure out. Dr. Crusher's going to work this out.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait.
So it was kind of interesting just to be like, all right, I guess they're just going there with this one. But yeah, I think it was definitely designed to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, so with that, I wanted to go into sort of she explores a lot of the dynamics of polyamory and like polygamy and stuff like that, because I mean she's like, don't be mad.
Oh,
this is why it's silky pimping.
When Kyle punches a hole in the drywall.
Yeah, but she's like, I will kill you.
So here's the thing. So this particular brand of vampires, you have to have these symbiotes, and it's
Human symbiotes.
Human symbiotes who basically, once you bite them, there's something in your saliva that basically makes them your bitch. And so they can't resist you. And even though she kind of gave her main bitch, like, yo, you can leave now. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch.
But it's like, but I already, you know what I'm saying?
You already got a taste.
Damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm already here. So, but like one person won't satisfy me. I have to have several. Like I need at least 7 hoes in order to live.
Satisfaction. It's literally
It's living.
Because
it's
she
survival.
needs a certain amount of blood, and humans only make so much blood at a time.
Yes, and she did show restraint. She wasn't like she was definitely silky pimping. Like she wasn't like a gorilla pimping out here. So, but I just remember when she first got her what was the name of the other male symbiote that she acquired? I forget his name.
Kyle,
was it Kyle?
Was
Who
it
was
Kyle?
the main one?
Right
No, Wright was the main one. Kyle must have been whoever the second one was.
No, I just called him Kyle because he punched a hole in the drywall.
Oh, he did. Okay. Listen, they always do. Yes, Kyle always does that. He's the worst.
I was thinking Andy Bernard. No,
but I mean, it was interesting to me that, like, on top of just the polyamory, you know what I'm saying, that they were suggesting, it was more so like putting men in an uncomfortable position. Because he was like, I mean, I was cool when it was 2 girls. You know what I'm saying?
Then you got to get a nigga, and you got to brought in hot, sexy, flexy.
I thought I was gonna be the only one. It's like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying?
You brought in a black guy,
right? Then it was like he was a black dude. I just thought that was really interesting because there's that masculinity thing that
because there was the other
kind of pops up.
I listened to like a interview between 2 people who were reviewing this on YouTube. That one of them actually knew her, and she was saying like, Wright, the character, like was Octavia Butler's like sexual ideal. Like I think that's why a lot of times and then in her books, it's a reoccurring theme. She kind of writes this dude. So like that's what she was
into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, hey, you like what you like.
You like what you like.
I'm not mad about it, but I did think I liked her sort of showing us these complex relationship structures and stuff like that. Because right now, I mean, I feel like it's pretty trendy now. You hear people talking about, you know, polyamorous relationships.
Sure.
And, you know, people trying to do that. But I do think that the emotional attachment
all fun and games.
The emotional attachment part, like, it's not like... I like that they kind of went into the complexity of being able to sort of balance something like that. Because I think it probably can be done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's it. But once again, more people equals more work. That's
parts.
Always going to be the equation. It's never...
It's not just fun time hunching orgies over here. It's like,
you also get more work. Like there's more enjoyment, but there's more work.
Yeah, and
because people are emotional work. What do you think? How many polyamorous relationships have you had, Dyke?
I know.
If I have to bring an Excel sheet into my dating life, then I'm not into it.
It's too much work. Yeah, I don't like to work that hard.
Yeah. It's a lot, but I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
I do like the honesty of it though. Like I feel like I have a comic friend who's polyamorous, and he would always, you know, and he's like a white guy.
Can you drop his name?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I won't do
Can you
that.
tell us all his business?
but like he'll make a joke, and you see the crowd kind of like, ooh, what's he? You know, there he goes. He's like, oh, what do you guys are old fashioned? You all just cheat?
Right. That's the part, because that's what ends up happening.
Yeah,
you know
like if
stop acting like, you know. Well, so I'll get into this lesson because I have. At the end of us kind of talking about this, I have some questions I want, like, would you rather questions kind of built around the, you know, the theme of this, and some of it has to do with that. But
I can't wait. I love making decisions.
But people get very bent out of shape about it. I think, like, if you have consensual people, I mean, obviously we're talking about Shuri, who seems like a kid or whatever, pimping these grown people, but I think, like, if you can make it work, like, I think it takes a lot of emotional maturity and, like you say, stamina.
For sure.
I'm tired. Like, I don't think I could entertain. I don't want to.
But that was her thing. She didn't get tired.
Yeah, she was a vampire. You know?
But no, the other vampires would like pass out and stuff like during the daytime. Like that's why they were vulnerable and why they wanted to engineer someone like her who could be awake in the daytime and didn't need human. Because they also need the human symbionts to protect them during the daytime because they would be so passed out.
That's true. Yeah.
And so like since she was like, oh, I can go out in the daytime or whatever. I don't get dizzy or because the one dude, he would all damn near get like insane. Like when he tried to stay up.
People get
I do.
Exhaustion is a real thing. Like you
I
hear
had to
about
take a
people
nap
literally
today.
having mental breaks when, you know what I'm saying, they're exhausted.
People on tour
in real life. Yeah, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely felt like she did a good job sort of portraying the balancing act of something like that. So let's get into some of the race and stuff like that. The race intersections and social issues.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
obviously.
Dyke, what race are you?
Oh wow! Let's get right into it. What are you?
The good
Do people
one.
start there? Whichever one I need to be for it to be
No,
acceptable.
apparently it's okay to just ask people that now.
I disagree.
I'm going to give a little story after Dyke tells us his ethnicity and everybody in his family.
I'm fly racial, so
good answer.
I feel like I have a pass to ask people. Like I'm just like, well, I usually just assume that a lot of people, like, if you're ambiguous a little bit, then I'm like, oh, you're probably mixed like me. So I just go like, hey, I'm mixed. What's your background or whatever?
Right.
I definitely was convinced this one girl was biracial, and she was like, no, I'm white. And I was like, I don't believe you.
Someone in your family was passing, baby. I can tell.
Your full lips.
I can
smell it. Accept that.
She showed me a picture of her dad, and I was like, he's also biracial. I was like, someone in your family's
like
lying.
You guys are holding on to a secret.
Someone was passing. Listen, guys, go to our passing episode.
It's a real thing.
So, I'm biracial, and I think that it's very.
Which were the two
black
things?
and white.
There you go.
But I find it I find it very interesting. One, anytime they make a daywalker, it has to be black, right? Like that's part of making a daywalking vampire.
Melanin.
But I do like the I'm kind of interested when anyone's like, because that's kind of a lot of YA books is like it's cool to be a mix now. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
it's real trendy.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
Amy
really
Poehler
hot.
said, she's like, every young person now is gay and biracial.
You have to be.
Well, the biracial thing is like, that's not my fault.
I
It's like, there was just a lot of.
I think people don't have to hide it as much anymore either.
Yeah,
Because I
there
feel
was
like a lot of
of-
people did pass.
There was a lot of interracial banging going on in the 80s and 90s, and
As
that's
it
how
should.
People
time
are
works.
fucking-
You know? Like, but I know I heard that too. A lot of people like, it's trendy to be biracial now. Like that. I mean, there's just more biracial
I
people.
think it's more acceptable because I think a lot of people who could pass did pass.
Yeah. But so I'm always interested in stories when there's, someone who straddles a line between two cultures, or someone that feels like an outcast within maybe both of those cultures.
Absolutely.
Because like I always felt like I wasn't white, but I didn't feel black until I was an adult. Does that make sense?
Ooh, you had to grow into it.
Like I
That was like Janie and Their Eyes Were Watching God. Like she didn't realize she was.
that
She was
was a
like,
good
I'm
one.
colored.
Right.
She had to come to that realization.
Yeah, you are, girl.
Yeah, well, my family was
Here anyway.
growing up my family was all white, and so it just was like they were very matter of fact, like, but they'd be like, "You're brown, you're mixed, you're brown." They
Not black, though.
never said black.
They basically said you're colored.
It was like
you're colored.
you're brown,
not quite
we're
black.
white, nobody cares, everything's fine, and it was like, okay, cool. So I didn't spend a lot of bandwidth thinking about it.
Sure.
But then you get older, and then it was like my mom's best friend was black, and like had a daughter the same age, and so it wasn't ever portrayed as. But like you get older, and then you start realizing like, oh, society treats black people worse than white people. So it's always kind of like, yeah, why would I want to get treated bad? Like that was
Why
always
would I
the kind
check
of
that?
why
Right, but
would-
then you can't check the white box. Do they let you do
no,
that?
no.
Oh, okay. I'm
Like,
gonna say,
no.
you have a
Still can't
pad?
check
Do you have
the
a
white-
hack for that?
It was always like, and it was weird because like white people would let you in on this, like you kind of see like an extra layer of racism and stuff
It's
because
like
people
you're
like,
one of the
yeah, you're not
not
one of,
you.
you're not one of
You're
them.
not.
And it was
Yeah.
always like you don't want to be left out, so you're like, yeah, I guess I'm not,
Yeah, but
But
even
then-
people who aren't biracial have those experiences. Like
Yeah.
we've read books with I think Gabrielle Union was talking about that, like being at a school that was mostly white.
It's like you're not
and-
black.
And
Yeah.
because she was like, she was like Kat, like I know the answer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
cared about school
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And but her social group, you wanna be in. It doesn't matter where you are. Like everybody has those experiences where even within your group, you feel like
Yeah.
you're trying to find your space in that group. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's extremely relatable, and I agree with you that those stories are very compelling. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I wasn't gonna come out and just ask you with your ethnic background.
Oh,
That's
I
what I keep
was.
her around for.
But I
No.
knew already.
I
so.
know we knew.
It is. But then when I turned 18, the police let me know that I was black.
Boom.
For
And I was like,
sure.
oh, okay.
And see, that's usually what I think Black people are talking about when they're speaking to biracial people too. Because like I feel like it can seem maybe overly aggressive. Maybe like say you're biracial, like you are. You don't have to even say it because you are. But out there, let's just say you're biracial, and it's like a Black person trying to explain to you how you're actually Black. it's not like they're trying to erase the whiteness. They're really talking more about the perception of who you are.
Yeah.
You're
know what
going
I
to be
mean?
racialized as a black person in America.
Exactly. You're not ever gonna.
There's no
nobody's gonna
category
let
of
you-
half white.
Mm-mm.
What do they say in Shook Ones? There's no such thing as halftime white people.
No,
It's
no,
like,
it's a full-time gig.
they
and
shook. Yeah.
You didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
But I have met like, for some reason I know 2 or 3 biracial guy comics that are completely white passing.
Ooh, and they go for it, huh?
No.
Oh.
They're in fact, I'm such a little shitstorm. I'm like, you can say it, right?
Right.
And they're like, I can't. There's too much explanation for me to do this, and he's like, and I'm too white passing, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, it's like I got to get this out the way.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky out here.
Does
So
anyone want to hear a funny story about me at the Verizon store the other day?
does it have to do with being biracial?
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I'm there, and the guy helping me out, I will say he to me looks like maybe someone a little bit younger than me. Maybe, but I would describe him like if I would describe him to an officer, like 6 foot, dark skin, Afro-Caribbean. Okay. So he asked me, he was like, so what ethnicity are you?
To you?
Yes. And I was like, I have no idea. And he was unfazed. And he was like, well, you must be mixed with something. You have like nice skin. And I was like, huh. I was like, we really only go back to my great grandmothers, and then things get very dicey.
Crepey,
so I don't
very
get hella crepey. So I don't know. I just want to expedite
move
this
on,
telecommunications transaction is what I want to do. But I was like, that was super weird because I've never had that happen to me before. I know you get that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
People are always very like, so what's your deal? Because people just assume you're biracial. It's like
They do.
both of my parents have a
and
nice N on their birth certificates.
They do, and I feel like I'm disappointing people when I'm like, there's a B on there.
Yeah, we
Just
have
regular
B's on
black.
our
just the
birth
regular black
certificate.
guy. Sorry,
But both
it's
of our
nothing
parents have
exotic here.
N's. They're
Yeah, just
it was
regular
for
old
Negro, by the
field
way.
Negro,
They were
yeah.
Negroes. We were black.
man.
I think our kids are African American. I think we should move to chocolate people. I think that's a better description
You
of
think
how
so?
we are.
I don't know. I like black is fine.
We're not really black though.
I know. They're not really white. I mean,
They're
it's all
not.
fake.
I hate African American.
I do too. It
It's
just doesn't feel-
misleading because we have African
Tell me
American.
about your Africanness.
Yeah, and well, and,
You know
and
what I
also
mean?
like nobody ever says European American. You
They
know what I'm
sure
saying?
don't.
There's
so
only
it's
that
like-
for everybody else.
It's like,
The
oh,
rest is
like,
regular.
why do I
I'm a hyphenate American.
like if we're talking about how I exist in this country, why would American be second? Like it's just very
Yeah.
interesting.
It
you
is
know?
they're very tricky with the
I
language.
like that you say interesting. I have other words for it, but yeah, interesting.
So
But yeah, man. Okay, so then let's talk about. Actually, you know what? I feel like that's enough of those things. Let's
Okay.
get into. You guys, let's do a quick game of Would You Rather.
Okay.
Just real quick. So this is the fledgling edition. So, Dyke, this goes to you. Would you rather have Shori's ability to heal rapidly, but require blood for food, or have an extended lifespan of a vampire without any special abilities?
Can I also eat regular food, or I have to just blood?
just blood.
It's just blood, friend.
Oh, I'm definitely just taking the longer life.
Taking the longer
Yeah.
life without the. Okay, all right. What about you, Kat?
I'm gonna go with the longer life too. I really like food. I don't want to drink
Food
blood.
is amazing.
It is. Even though the way they describe sucking blood in the book sounds awesome.
It's very sensual.
It
It's like,
is.
man, wow.
It is. They're like,
I
they're like,
don't know.
everyone's like, oh, can you do that again? It's like, no, it'll
maybe
kill
I'm
you.
just gonna say the other one because y'all picked that one. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna
You're
no, but I
simple.
just feel like if I have to keep, like attacking people and taking their blood, that feels like a lot more work than just living for a long time.
Yeah.
So I agree with you guys. Correct answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer. Okay, so let's see. Would you rather be Oh, okay. Here we go. This I don't know. Okay, would you rather be immune to sunlight like Shuri, and be able to freely move during the day, or possess the power of mind control and influence over others like older vampires?
But I can't go out in the daytime.
Can't go out. Got to be in the house.
Unless you go first, Dyke.
Yeah, you're our guest.
I
so-
probably take mind control.
Ooh, stay home at night and
Yeah.
control these hoes from.
We'll stay home in the daytime.
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and then just go out and
House Mayhem?
Yeah, that's.
I've always wanted to have minions, you know, like
Fair.
Pimping is very appealing.
I mean, I see the attraction.
Sure.
if I was a monster already.
You
like,
might as well go all the way.
That reminds me of I think Dan Harmon quote where he was talking about Twilight. And he was like, if anyone paid attention to the themes of these movies, it's that men are monsters that require young flesh.
Ew.
Yeah.
That is deeply disturbing, but it's kind of true though.
A little bit.
Wow.
Twilight was super messed up when you go back because we read those books together and
I
enjoyed
read
them
while I was in X-ray school though, because I was so tired of reading textbooks. And I was
Sure,
like, just anything
but it was fun reading those.
physics.
It was fun reading those with you. But going back and like looking at the themes, I was like, oh, this was super messed
That's
up.
how everything was. I hated most everybody in those books, but they
Fair.
were still good. But
They
yeah,
were.
the
I was like,
characters
no,
were
I didn't stop
trash.
reading them though.
They were
But
dumb. I was desperate.
I would definitely take. Wait, what was the first one?
So would you rather be immune to the sunlight like Shuri? And be
Oh
able to
yeah,
move freely during
immune
the
sunlight.
day?
I love the sunshine.
Straight up.
Yeah, I don't need to.
Move
I already,
freely during the day.
I could
Immune.
figure out how to control people somewhere
That's
else.
true. You do have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna mention it, but you be fine. Okay, so let's see. Would you rather have a romantic relationship with a human
No,
partner?
you didn't answer it.
Oh, I did. I was trying to skip it.
Well, you can't.
I could if you weren't paying attention.
I'm gonna
Jesus,
bite you
did
and make you
need
do
some more?
it.
Did you want some more
Say.
champagne or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually would. Yeah.
Jeez, no, it's gone.
See?
I gave the last of it
Son
today.
of a bitch.
Got your hopes up. I think I probably would. I mean, I like the sun too, but mind control feels fun.
Could make people give you money. She was doing that.
She could, yeah, she could.
She was straight up just been like, give me that, run that dough.
Yeah, I think I could just skip the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dyke. We out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm mega pimping out here. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so
I always did call Moni a stone cold Detroit pimp.
yeah, man. I mean,
Mega
somebody's
pimping.
gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like if you're a vampire,
Gotta do
there's
it.
a lot of like leeway to be like, hey, let me in here. Hey, let me, you know, it's just like we don't need any questions.
No, we don't.
know.
We can make this happen. You don't even know what's going on right now. So would you guys rather have a romantic relationship with a human partner who is accepting of you being a vampire, or with a fellow vampire who shares your long lifespan and unique experiences? Dyke, you have to answer that first.
I feel like in most fiction, when there's like two people that live too long, you get sick of each other. You know?
You said in fiction?
Yeah. Well,
What? Wait, you don't know anybody in real life who's gotten sick of each other?
well, like what's till death do us part if neither of you are dying? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's like,
so,
God damn, at some point I was supposed to be relieved.
yeah, there was supposed to be an end date.
I was supposed to
This,
get out of
this
here.
milk goes bad after a while.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that obviously a lot of the attraction is, you know, one
Variety
is
over
like variety and but there also is like, let's be honest, there's definitely a parallel between like old people being attracted to young people. You know what I'm saying? And like
it really
like
is.
it's kind of baked into all the vampirism, and so there definitely is a thing about like
Let me suck the youth out of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow.
There's like, did you hear about that billionaire that's like using his son's blood, like injecting himself with his
Jesus, no.
son's
What
blood
now?
yeah, there's like a
What's his
billionaire
name?
dude.
Actually, because athletes do that. Like, wasn't that one of the things? Like, a lot of the athletes, wasn't that something? Like, they do blood infusions to keep like more like oxygen in their blood when they're in. Because it's one of the things they outlaw. It's like
but
unfair.
he's specifically getting blood transfusions from his child
son.
because he wants to stay.
Jeepers.
Young.
So, which one are you choosing?
I think probably the humans.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you
Ooh.
would get tired of living forever with
Okay.
somebody.
We got it. Dyke wants a lot of hoes. I think I'm gonna go with a vampire, another vampire, because I feel like
shared experience and stuff.
well, and I don't want to hold back. Like I feel like with the humans, they're because vampires are so strong.
Damn, she's a beast mode.
Okay. Speak on it.
I don't want to hold back.
Right,
I want
you're
to
like,
be
I'm
able to
trying
like.
to-
I want to be like afterwards. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your femur.
I just thought I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay,
Yeah,
you can get
I
a
don't-
new one though.
I
if you
don't.
break
That
it,
I'd
right?
feel bad. I'd feel bad.
Oh,
I would.
see, I'm a terrible. I'm probably gonna go with the multiple
Oh,
hoes
here's
over
the other
time.
thing though. But Shuri, she had magic spit. She could heal people with her spit.
Ew, don't call it spit. That's gross.
But she would lick them.
It's saliva. I know. I don't like that.
She had magic saliva.
Thank you. That's much better.
Yeah.
Don't be vulgar.
So I don't know. That does change things. So if I did, I'd just because you could still kill someone though. I don't think she could bring it back from that. But that made me think of Steven Universe too, because that was one of Steven's powers.
Well, his
he had magicals. Yeah, he could lick people and heal them. It was. Did you watch Steven Universe?
I did not.
No, it was because that's how he healed Connie's eyes. Remember? Because she drank his juice box. And
not juice box.
If you share juice boxes, you're getting people spits. You should know that. But in Connie's case, it healed her eye. But yeah, he would lick gems and it would heal him.
Okay, I found him. Tech billionaire who spends $2 million a year to look young is now swapping blood with his 17-year-old
He looked like Data.
He
looks like Lore. He looks like evil Data.
I don't know if y'all can see that. He looks terrible.
Yeah, it's scary.
I mean,
just fucking die. It's your turn. Get in the fucking ground.
Not a vampire. Get in the ground already.
What are you choosing?
I said multiple hoes.
Multiple hoes.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. I just think I agree because after a while, because they're living for hundreds and hundreds of years, it's like I'm bored with you now. I'm bored with you now. Die. Fair. So we can move on.
But it's okay.
What's romantic? Yeah,
well, I'm just
because romance is fake. That's what you. That's what I need you to.
It was in your question.
Look, if you live through a couple plagues and a couple Great Depressions with the same person,
we've done all we can together.
We were booed up through the Industrial Revolution.
And I gave you a good life. You enjoyed yourself. You know what I'm saying? On to the next. Who am I to keep all this goodness to myself? You know what I'm saying? You gotta spread it around a bit.
But even with the human will get older faster than you.
Yeah, it's like having a dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a pet who you love a lot that you hunch on.
That was sort of a parallel. I think they made in the book that you do kind of keeping these symbionts as pets.
That's basically what it was.
Would you be a pet to a more powerful being?
That's a good question. That was one of mine. Would you agree to be
a symbiont? They seem pretty happy. It'd be like being in a cult.
Because you get to live longer. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess if I'm willing to be a pimp, I should be willing to
be a hoe.
A hoe?
No, that's not how pimping works. Pimps aren't willing to be hoes.
I know, but I'm saying I'm switching gears. If I'm turning it around, especially if it's somebody who is extending my life. I mean, honestly,
but then you kind of don't get to see your family anymore, though. Because they'll notice you're not aging. They'll be like, what the fuck?
But they probably don't care, though.
My family?
Yeah.
My family cares deeply about me. I feel like they'd really care.
But if you date somebody they don't like, they're not seeing you that much either, though.
That's different.
Is it?
Than me never seeing them again?
Because you don't see them again a lot until you get away from that person. So there might be
it would be because there'd still be they'd still see me. It's very different than okay, I can't really visit my family anymore because they're noticing
Right. Well, because now it's they're being abused. If somebody's isolating you and you don't get to see your family, it's yo, he's punching her.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't know, Dyke. What do you think?
I definitely highly recommend you watch the Interview with the Vampire series because this is all in there.
Really?
All of this stuff is in there.
He's talking about the new one now. We did watch the original Interview with the Vampire from the 1900s with Kristen. Isn't that crazy to think about Kristen Dunst being that little girl? Was it Kristen Dunst?
Yeah, you said Kristen, so I just wanted to point out that you said, and I said it wrong.
Peace to that woman. Peace to that woman.
Kirsten.
Oh, girl from Bring It On. When she was underage, because that's what it made me think of too. Because she was a little girl,
and she was in love with one of them too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in love with Brad Pitt, you would be.
I mean, duh.
Brad Pitt was supposed to be Creole, white presenting Creole in that movie.
That was he? Oh, I know he was trying to get up on that Creole maid. You could tell they had been boning. She was but yeah, I didn't know that. No, I didn't pick up on that. But that tracks.
So Louis in the new one
he looks more Creole.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
Wow.
No, but Claudette, what was her name in the movie? Claudette. And she, because what's his name? Lestat, because you're not supposed to turn little kids into vampires. That was against the rules, but Lestat is a rebel. Mm-hmm. And he turned her.
Why did he do that?
Because I just said he's just
fucking,
he was trying to, keep a nigga baby. Keep a nigga baby.
It was.
And keep a Creole baby. Mm-hmm. And so, and it worked.
Ooh.
so,
Scandalous.
but you're not supposed to do that because then she went crazy because she was like, I'm supposed to be a woman out here.
Right,
I'm
goddamn.
old as hell.
And nobody's going to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is
Right.
fucked
It
up.
was crazy.
Oh, that would be the
I need to
worst.
watch. Okay, yeah.
See,
you
we gotta
made a
do it
case
again.
for
Hold
it.
up, I gotta
I'll
make
watch
a note right
You
here.
make a note of it?
The
vampire news.
I will say this is not really a spoiler, but the Claudette character in this is supposed to at least be like 15.
Okay.
And she's played by like an adult woman, so it like comes
so it's not
across
as creepy.
It doesn't seem as creepy. when it's-
Okay. It was hella creepy in Interviewing a Vampire because
she was
her
really
and Brad
young.
Pitt were seriously in love.
Oh my God.
She played the hell out of that role
did
too
a good job.
for
Yeah,
such a small. I was like,
Claudia.
ooh, this is disturbing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I guess there has to be a certain level of that when you're talking about vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
I think that's probably
because
good.
what in Twilight, what was the little vampire girl? She was a hybrid too. 'Cause she was half human and half vampire. Bella's daughter.
I don't remember.
It was this dumb name.
I don't know, but I didn't like Bella's dumb ass. She was stupid.
It was
She
irritating.
was a dumb hoe. I was like, why do they like her?
I never was into it, but like
Did you raise your hand?
yeah, no, I
This is me over here.
I'd like to
Permission
chime in
speak,
on that.
sir.
I just think I always thought it was funny because like how mad people get at like age gap relationships nowadays, especially.
Really?
That people get real like it's like
So tell me, what are we talking here?
So,
friend? Let's get into it.
I mean, I understand if it's like a guy in his 40s dating like a girl in like her early 20s, like you'd be like, that's not a great look.
yeah.
But like I've even heard people like where it's just like, like at what I guess for me it's like at what point are we not infantilizing women? Like do we think that like a 30-year-old woman doesn't have enough autonomy to decide if she would like
Wants to date a
Bill
60-year-old
Murray
or
and
something.
Kalis, right?
oh,
Lots of shade at that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
She's
I think
like
it's
our
Khalees.
age. Or,
Ooh,
was that-
now they were correcting names and stuff.
I mean, I'm
Wow.
just saying.
Wow.
I like
guarantee I
Khalees.
said it wrong.
It's okay. It's fine. We know what you're talking
I
about. but
really
yeah.
like Khalees. I feel like Khalees got like done dirty in the music industry over here quite a bit.
She's a
Well,
great chef too.
yeah.
Oh my God, yes, she's a
Yeah.
whole farmer. and
But
everything.
like,
She's
does a
amazing.
woman in her 40s not know if she wants to date a guy?
I
in
think
you know
it
what I'm saying?
is.
Like,
There's nothing sexy about it though. Like people just don't envision women, you know what I'm saying, who look like Khalees being into like a older person
Gentlemen
who
like
looks
Bill
like
Murray.
Who Bill Murray, you are one of my faves. You understand me?
Come
I probably
on.
wouldn't date you.
Come on.
But we could be
But
friends.
I don't
though.
know. If you
I
threw
would
some
go-
game, who knows?
Yeah.
Listen, I
you
mean,
don't know about Bill Murray's Riz.
you're right. I don't know. I don't know what kind of game he might be
I
spitting
don't
out
know.
here
He
right
must
now.
be
He got
having
them long
put some
pockets as
down.
well, which is, like that's appealing as well. But yeah, I agree with you. I think when you're well into your adulthood, at that point, it probably is.
I don't
But-
think it's unethical at that point.
But circling back, the vampire Twilight movies, he was like 100 years old dating a 16-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? And, like that was never
That feels
really
unfair.
that was super.
never a problem.
It was super weird. Why on earth would you want to go to high school? That would
Yeah,
only be for pedos.
I mean, he literally was
'Cause
just, he
even
was
if you
literally a
wanted to
predator
take-
in every single
'Cause-
part of the
Because he's
word.
like, I want to stay
Seriously.
intellectually stimulated. That's not what high
No,
school is.
no.
You would take a grad school course at least.
And what are their conversations about? He's like, so I really enjoy playing stickball
I
with
saw
my
you-
friends 100 years
I saw
ago.
you frying fish for your dad. What a good daughter you. Because I was like, man, she just showed up and just
Oh,
started cooking for his
no.
ass. I was like, that's your daddy. He should be providing food for you. That's how I felt about it.
I forgot about all that. It's like I never even read
Man,
it.
I had a lot of
Slept since
feelings
then.
because I remember being real pissed off at the end when she had that baby and Jacob was like, oh yeah, that bitch. And it was like, yeah, I just imprinted on your daughter.
Oh,
And
yes. I
they tried
forgot
to
that
make
was-
it be like, and then they talked her dad. It's like, nah, it just means I'm gonna shape her into the type of woman I want to have. I ain't gonna do nothing to her until she gets old enough. It's like, no, that's still grooming, asshole. It's like,
Ooh, it
get
is,
the
though.
yeah, nah.
Wow, we're getting into it. This
This is a whole separate podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
So now we got to go into, Actually,
Sorry.
you know what? Let's take a break.
Time
God damn
out.
it.
Okay.
This is how you know. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So welcome back. Oh my gosh, that was a good break. I needed it. You know what I'm saying? A little break. Man, this book really, I mean, honestly, it touched on, all the stuff that we talk about all the time, I feel like. You know what I mean?
There was
Just
racism.
There was racism.
We didn't even touch on the racism that much. There was
We
hella
didn't.
racism in the book.
We didn't. I think the consent, I think because we talk about it so much and we know that it's baked into just about every story, no matter what.
It's there.
It's there, but the consent part and the power dynamics And just like the world building was so compelling that I think it was kind of nice to focus in on.
It's
that.
kind of like if we went to an Italian restaurant, we wouldn't have to tell you. It's like they might have some marinara sauce here.
Yeah, straight up.
Like,
there might be some
you
Alfredo.
know.
You know what I mean?
You know.
Racism is marinara sauce. That's the merch.
I like it. Yes, yes.
I just say it's baked into the sauce.
Boom.
It's hard to get rid of it.
It's baked into the sauce.
It's baked into the sauce. That's why it's hard to get rid of.
We've been saying
we
that
need a
for
new
long
dish.
time. We do. It's getting old, but I don't know. I just feel like you said there was a point that you didn't make earlier that you kind of want to get into. What was that about,
So this was about the author. Our author, Octavia E. Butler, was super into comic books, which makes me so happy when I learned this about her. I'm like, that makes so much sense. That's why she's so awesome and so good at writing, and why I probably really enjoy like the pacing of her books. Because what about you, Dyke? Do you think comic books are awesome or not?
Oh yeah, huge fan. And
DC or Marvel?
Honestly, like I was a DC, like actual comics. I was more DC.
That wasn't the right answer.
But everything else now has been Marvel.
Okay,
obviously.
that's the right answer. Make mine Marvel. Cool.
DC has better characters and
they have better villains.
Doesn't know what to do with them. They don't know how to in the movie universe at least.
They don't. No, it's because they're not hiring the comic book nerds. I think Marvel did a good job of including the comic book nerds in production.
Some of the DC TV shows have been pretty good.
They've been, yes, much better, because once again, you don't have the studio execs.
Well, name one. What are some ones that are out that are popular for the DC ones?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yeah, it was
that's out right now.
That's been out. That came out That was HBO Max.
Never heard of it.
Dead name.
Dead name. We dead named
Max.
HBO.
Okay.
Max, but it came out on HBO Max last summer.
Yeah,
okay.
But some of the TV shows like the one-offs or whatever, like pretty good. The animated stuff they do is pretty good.
The animated Justice League is amazing, and Harley Quinn, the animated Harley. Basically, go to HBO Max if you want to see the good DC's. The Lego Batman is the best Batman.
But I think
hands down,
I think her being a comic book fan made her like super aware of a lot of these like sci-fi tropes, and then allowed her to like subvert them. It's like.
Nice.
If you're gonna do it, don't do the exact same thing that's been done a million times. Try to really make it your own or whatever. So
because it was Blade without being Blade.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you feel like somebody can make the argument that this book was just a remake of another vampire story? You know what I mean? Because you're saying like it was the Blade without being the Blade. So it was a version of Blade, but it was still different enough to where we could appreciate the nuance.
Yeah, I think there's no way to do it without having
it's all
something,
stealing, right? Like,
like I think there's a reason why these come up in human storytelling over and over again.
Like Clue. Yeah. You just keep that murder mystery boy.
And the fact too that it was a mystery. Like we are with the character trying to figure out who's doing this and why.
It's true.
Oh, I had a question for you guys.
Oh, let's hear it.
Because I'm so much more of a movie and TV guy.
Okay.
But have you seen The Blackening yet? Or do you have any plans to see The Blackening? Or do
Funny
you have any
you asked,
opinions
Dyke.
on The Blackening?
I love that you're asking this, Dyke.
Okay.
I have seen The Blackening.
Okay.
Yes. It was actually one of our wheel spins a couple of episodes ago. It was an option. We didn't have to watch it. Moni's lifestyle is different than mine.
Okay.
I can go see a movie in the afternoon.
Servitude right
and
now.
actually, my child is older because I took my child with me to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she can't take her kids to see The Blackening.
My son would disagree.
He's would.
Like, Dad lets me see rated R movies.
That's your daddy.
Yeah.
We all have to survive our fathers.
So, like, is it like inappropriate for little kids? I mean, he's 11.
Yes. Well, your daughter, definitely not.
Okay, I'm about to say he
could probably handle it.
I was like, are you really letting them watch Logan?
If you saw Logan, he can handle The Blackening.
He's fine. I feel like he can probably make it. Yeah.
Okay, so
he'd be pretty bad.
But given your lifestyle though, it's fine you haven't seen it. I saw The Blackening, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I want to see it.
I thought you had like a big twist opinion about it.
She's just shading internal podcast.
Yeah. It was just her basically saying, "I saw the money and I'm
dedicated to media."
I love black horror as a genre. Like one of
like Lovecraft Country.
Like one of the first movies I saw as a kid was like People Under the Stairs.
Oh no!
And like
I remember that. That's
too scary. The Blackening was cool because it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't like stuff that's scary for real. If it's sci-fi enough, though, I can do sci-fi horror weirdly enough.
My only critique about The Blackening was it was supposed to be about, it was their 10-year college reunion, so all of them are supposed to be like 32, 31, and all the jokes were for people our age. And it was like they're talking about Set It Off, and I'm like, no one 30 years old watched Set It Off.
They don't know what that is.
They don't even know what Black Expo is.
They were talking about Living Single, and I was like, nobody who's 31 is watching Living Single.
No.
And then I looked at the guy who did it, and he's in his like early 50s, and I was just like, oh, this is another. Tarantino would do that a lot, where he would like have a bunch of hot 21-year-old girls talking about their favorite 70s kung fu movie.
Right.
Yeah. It's a bit of an anachronism.
So now why not have one person at least that's writing with you that can help you keep things fresh and relevant?
They don't care.
I thought some of it was a little too, like, I can't imagine being like Gen Z and going to Blackening and be like, what are you guys talking about?
Right, you would have no idea, no cultural references. Well, that's the one time when it's good to be old.
Yay!
Doesn't happen a lot. Doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, I felt like Captain America. I got that one.
Right, it's like, oh,
I
I
know
know exactly
that one.
what's going on here. That
That's
never
from
happens.
Before Times.
The Before Times.
Sorry, I derailed all of this.
Oh my God. No, it's totally fine. This is part of what we do on our podcast. We tried to do it on yours. I think you called us out for that. I was like, oh no, he's gonna hate us.
No, it's I love it.
Now.
I love it because one, I have to do less work, and two, it's just like there is a thing, and I'm very like I always come with my own like kind of questions and you know things that I want to like. Oh, I want to talk to them about. Sure. You know, it's like how many people I went and saw with a white person first of all, so it's just like.
It's nice.
I need to have like a discussion about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was good because I felt like, oh no, like, are we taking over? This is uncomfortable. But also, this is what would happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I would recommend people see The Blackening.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
It's fun time.
That was my only critique. That was my only critique about it.
All right, that's fair. I think it's good to have that because you don't want to be all good.
But... Oh, can I also recommend something else too? Yeah, sure. African Folktales Retold on Netflix. Whoa.
Really?
I wasn't ready. We definitely need to review it. Really? It's basically Black Mirror.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah,
Really?
Black Mirror.
Shit.
It's African Black Mirror.
Okay.
And just imagine what that is. Like
I'm having a hard time. It's like there's a glitch in the system. I'm like, wait.
It's I think there's only like 6 episodes they're like these short story. It's same kind of form. It's an anthology. It seems like it's a shared universe, but
vignettes.
Yes,
Black Mirror. I like it.
But the first one is like Katera and Punishment Island, and it's about this island where they send girls who get pregnant out of wedlock and her escaping it. Are you intrigued? Will you watch it?
No, I'm horrified. I'm horrified, and I'm not sure. Okay, that's what I am. Jeez, Louise. Okay.
It's so good. I had it on my list for a while, and it was, sometimes you just like your list, this is something I'm unfamiliar with. I'm going to have to I can't do anything else. Yeah. I have to really invest in this. And actually I wasn't. I was actually doing hair. I wasn't totally invested, but it's still, I was like, whoa. I'm like, I need to watch this later and really pay attention. And I did. And actually I need to go back and rewatch all of them because they were so freaking dense.
One day I don't know when I'm never going to have anything to do. Because sometimes, like, if I'm doing stuff, I can't watch it.
You know what worked out, though, when we watched Joan is
over
awful.
Here. I had to be here away from my home, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We just have to work that into the time for the podcast where we watch the thing.
Ooh, this week I'll have time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we have to watch some stuff.
Fuck
okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. We're rambling. Let's just get to it. Let's rate the book. I really enjoyed the book. I feel like Octavia is good at her job. But I want to let Dyke go first and let us know. So here's the thing. We have a really scientific way in which we sort of rate books here. Yeah. And it's a scale 1 to 5. Okay. And it just has to be something. Yeah. A noun, if you will.
I will say I will give it 5 because I enjoyed
5 out of 5?
Out of 5 what? Though you have to modify it.
You have to give it an item.
Real scientific.
Maybe
I'll give it 5 out of 5 Daywalkers. Because I enjoyed it and I appreciate that you made me read a book that I wasn't getting a pan pizza for. So
let's go.
It had been a minute. Okay. And so
do you feel smarter?
I just enjoyed the whole process of it. Like I was like, I needed to have homework assigned in a deadline to get it done. And so I really enjoyed it. And, you know, like seeing that people like reading the last one, people like, it wasn't, she had other stuff that was a little bit deeper or whatever. And so I'm just like, okay, if that's the gateway, I want to go.
If this is Octavia 101, I'm intrigued. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, excellent. Cash.
I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 handheld Game Boys because our guest today is rocking the old school Game Boy t-shirt. And it's bringing back good memories because I got that. I remember in '89 for my birthday.
Wow.
Got that boy.
Your parents were rich.
Tetris. We were filthy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. I think if I had to rate it, I'm giving it a 5 as well. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. I don't know. Probably like pimp somethings.
Pimp hands.
Pimp hands. But are they pimp teeth though? Because they're vampires.
Pimp fangs.
Boom, with golds on them.
I'm gonna start rocking gold teeth fangs because that's what a motherfucking monster do.
Boom, that's what I'm giving. It was very, very good. It was well thought out. I think my favorite thing was the world building. Like I really like the backstory to the vampires. You know, it was a little creepy with the child's sex stuff. But I still liked it. So I felt a little bit bad because I got past it pretty quick. I'm like, but she's 53 though. You know what I mean? I just stopped picturing her physically so I could just enjoy the story. Yeah. So I'm like, does that make me a sociopath? But anywho, I really liked it. So it was very, very
Makes
good.
You a soldier.
Yeah, probably.
You're a warrior.
Yeah, it's like I'm really good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah, it's like I can't think about that right now.
I can't. Yeah, I don't have time for that. So yeah, it was overall really good. So thank you for recommending this book because that was one of her titles I hadn't heard of. I did not know she had a vampire book, so that was
it was
like, it was super fun. I really like it. All right, and so you know what? Should we do Stranger Than Fiction real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys, Stranger Than Fiction. All right, guys, so this week's Stranger Than Fiction, I came across this weird article on Vice on Instagram. And it said white people food is going viral in China. Why? Because social media users say it's incredibly bland. Yo, I picked this because we have Chef Michaels in the building and we've been talking about, second blood, whatever, sustenance. And I just thought of all the things to be trendy or kind of kitschy
I didn't know
China,
that was specifically white people food. So what is white people food?
Okay, so let's talk about it. So it's according to this, people are losing it at the idea of some people opening a sweaty little packet of ham or a Tupperware of sliced fruit, asking why anyone would voluntarily eat a lunch of suffering. It's in quotes.
Are you talking about Lunchables?
Yes, Lunchables are
they
just
are always
fruit
wet
or whatever. It's just they're moist and stuff.
They
it's
are.
gross. Now the crackers are stale.
My son used to always ask me, he's like, why would you buy me Lunchables? It's because I love you.
What? Did you?
No, he would ask me why I wouldn't buy him.
I thought you. Okay,
he was like, "Why won't you buy me Lunchables?" And I would tell him, "It's because I love you."
My God! So it says the trend started with the viral video of a European woman preparing her lunch: a bag of lettuce, slices of ham, and a packet of mustard on a train in Switzerland. Commenters were detailing their experience with bland white people food, as I like to call WPF, across offices in Europe, America, and Australia. So since then, users on Chinese social media platforms Weibo and Xiaoshanshu,
there you go.
I probably said that wrong, but they've been posting their reviews of typical Western meals. So we're talking oatmeal with yogurt. Who puts yogurt in their oatmeal? I guess it
sounds very healthy.
It could be though.
Yeah. It sounds like granola and stuff. Yeah.
Crackers with slices of ham and cheese, marveling at their lack of flavor, in quotes, okay? And the absence of enjoyment. I cannot. This took me out. I died. Their colleagues must feel when eating their lunch. So this made me think
I love
about
lunch of suffering.
The lunch of suffering got me together. I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
Sad. Our food was making them sad.
It was suffering. And so there was another article that I read on NPR. So it did kind of talk about some of the people saying with work culture getting busier, it's harder to make these layered meals that stew for hours with all these delicious, flavorful spices. And if you happen to be somebody with maybe an intolerant, your stomach doesn't tolerate all of that. Sometimes it's a novelty or it's kind of whimsical to have a bland lunch. It's kind of fun. It's you want to have some Ritz crackers and a slice of cheese.
I mean,
for lunch.
I do like cheese and crackers. Yeah. I mean, is that super white?
It is, but also I wanted to ask you guys though, what are your favorite
white meals?
WPFs? We're gonna call
I'm
it that.
gonna let Dyke go.
Dyke. I mean, you're
go
halfway
first.
there, so let me know. Were there any you grew up with that are staples? Like, what's the deal?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Noodles and butter.
I mean,
like,
I love a good like picnic sandwich.
Let's go.
You know
So what do you do?
Like,
bologna? You like ham, turkey? What we got?
Yeah, I've got a little bit bougie, but like
Okay.
I'll eat it. I'll eat it a bit, but like I'll eat like a gas station ham and cheese sandwich.
Do
in a
not
pinch.
say gas station.
I will go to a gas station and I'll get, because it's kind of hard to mess it up, right? It's just bread, cheese, and ham, and then you get a little mustard.
I would prefer the feeling of hunger.
Just walking into a gas station. My husband and I have this whole thing where he almost choked on a gas station hamburger. It's one of the funniest stories ever. But also, it's like, that's what you get. That's what you get. Like, why would you go in a gas station? I just disagree with the decision to walk into the gas station and
it was just really hard to feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I was like, you almost died. You put
You
yourself
did this
in
to
jeopardy.
yourself.
I'm
Like,
not eating burgers or like the
Yeah,
ones
he
where
was
they have
tripping
like
with
the
the-
fried chicken at the gas station.
You're not going in there?
Do that.
I might try it.
You're not getting the gizzards?
And well, in the South, like if it was like a fried chicken joint in the South, I'm in.
I mean, it could be
Fried
an
chicken
episode,
joint in a gas
unknown
station.
episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives or
Yeah,
something.
I might try that, but generally
doing it.
no, not at Speedway.
So
I
I'm
gotta-
judging you apparently.
Well, I feel like I walked into a trap.
You
But,
did a
know,
little bit.
tell
I
me
didn't
your
know you were
favorite
gonna say
white people
gas
food.
station. But
Well,
go ahead.
But I think generally like a sandwich I
sandwich.
really enjoy is like, yeah, I can eat like just like a white bread sandwich with like a Kraft
Mayo?
single.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'd mayo
Okay.
all day.
Let's go.
That's,
Okay.
that's from the white upbringing.
That is, listen, it probably got you through your summers. You know what I'm saying? So what about you? What's your favorite white people food?
Like just like trash food, basically, and
No,
this
just
is-
blend. I mean, so
Bland.
like you heard, just
No,
something
this is
that's-
something I really truly love that is just awful, and it's Chef Boyardee canned spaghetti meatballs.
Is that white people food?
Yes,
Would you say? I don't know.
I don't
I feel
think
like that's
I'm sure it's
poor.
bland.
You know what? Try to give some.
I'm sure it's bland.
Try to give some Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs to the black people out there and see how that goes.
That's true. I guess it. Okay, Ding. I'll allow it. Okay, that's
Try
the test.
Try
Is there a
serving
meter of
that.
whiteness?
Try
Okay.
serving that at your next family function and see how that goes.
No, that's like struggle food during the summertime, like when your mom's not cooking and she's at
Yeah.
work and there's no.
But
real
I
daycare.
genuinely love it.
really,
Yeah.
still now.
Like
You
I'll
would
buy
eat
it as
it.
a treat for sometimes.
Good day. Okay, I'm judging you as well.
I'm vulnerable.
Next caller.
Yeah. But now you have to be
what's yours?
vulnerable.
I think-
judgy McJudgy.
Okay, well, I feel like avocado toast is real white. That is my fucking fave. Like, give me an
That was a
avocado.
safe- that was a safe answer though.
Was
It
it?
was,
That is my favorite though.
That's pretty popular, and you can really trick it out.
And
Yes,
I'm
and I'm a
still
fan
gonna
of it.
give that to Mexican people because it's avocado. You gotta choose.
Do they
something
put it on
else.
toast?
Yep,
No, they don't.
They do.
Lies.
Yep.
Tortilla.
Mhm.
See, I didn't say
They
tortilla
do.
toast.
They do. Wait, they're
No, they're not. It's lies.
They're telling
and
me
that's-
right now.
Ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
yeah.
and that's it, folks.
They were
so
like,
that's our favorite white people food. And
so you like mayo sandwiches. I like Chef Boyardee, and this bitch is like avocado toast. All right. Moving on. What's the next thing?
I'm better than both of them. And moving on, guys.
And she brought the segment already knowing that she
Right,
had a
it was
good
like,
answer.
yep, avocado toast, guys. I had like 20 minutes to think about it.
I thought we
so.
were supposed to like pick something that was kind of gross.
I
like,
thought that's what I thought
that
this
weird.
time
Okay,
it was
fine.
too, Dyke.
So I got to pick something gross.
You
I
really
just feel
don't like
that
gross
was it.
stuff.
I
You are
don't.
kind
I
of.
wouldn't
She
eat
doesn't
it.
really like
But
gross.
it's bland, girl. Well, here's
It is
I think the only
bland.
thing that is,
But not when I make it.
I mean, well, see, I was gonna see.
That's
now
the
I'ma say
thing.
charcuterie
I'm gonna
board and
like.
shit.
I'm even with
Cheese
my
and
avocado.
crackers.
Because here's the thing with my avocado toast. I'm putting my ricotta eggs on top of it and some chili pepper.
I've never had that. I wouldn't put that on there.
Maybe a
but-
little arugula.
sounds delicious.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just have never done that. But I
Little
wasn't
pepper. even
even going there. I'm just saying, like smashing up avocado, salt, and pepper, put it on there, eat it.
All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's what I was going with it.
Right.
Fine, whatever. They're hating on my answer,
I'm
so we're
upset.
gonna move in. That's fine. It's fine because it's fine. You do. You know what I mean. You do you. So anyway, guys, I just thought if you guys want to check out the Stranger in Fiction article about this is hilarious. I put both of them in the show notes, you guys. NPR even had a full sort of thing on there, and that's about it. And let's wrap this up because now at this point I feel like we're holding Chef Michaels hostage. Okay, we're going over our time, so I just want to thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This was a lot of fun, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to shout yourself out, let the people know where they can find you on social media.
It may be an event you have coming up in August.
Sure, absolutely. I'm just at at Dyke Micheals across all social media. The podcast is called Harder Brunch, just at Harder Brunch across everything. We're doing an adult summer camp August 25th through the 27th. We're renting out my childhood summer camp that I went to as a kid and also worked there for a bunch of years. It's sponsored by Upland Beer, so we're going to be pouring beer all weekend. It's all one inclusive ticket. We're going to have comedy shows. We're going to have live music. Some of the musicians that have come through and been on our show, so like Sirius Black's going to be there. Clint Breeze and the I think
Clint. We got
Clint Breeze is going to be on there. We got Gwen Sunkel, Brent Terhune, all of the camp counselors are comedians. Nice. And then we also are doing like all the normal camp stuff. Like we're gonna have bonfires, we're gonna have swimming and archery and canoes and crafts and a food fight, and then a bunch of surprises.
It sounds like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's gonna get real Nickelodeon guts up in there. You know?
I like it.
Family Double Dare. But it's one inclusive ticket, so it's like the one price for the whole weekend. Camping, and then you can upcharge to if you want to sleep in it like a cabin.
Okay.
But tickets are on sale, eventbrite.com. Harder Brunch Adult Summer Camp.
Oh my God, that sounds like an amazing time.
Will the food be very white?
The food will be. I'll tell you what, camp has really good food. Like,
okay,
because they have a bunch of, they're not even Gen Z. What are kids now? Like the Gen underneath them.
We started over again, so they're AA.
The AA gens.
Wow.
They have so many food allergies and preferences and stuff. So it's a very big mix.
It's like bring your own.
They're all ethical.
Man.
And then on Sunday,
is this fair sourced? Is this fair sourced and blah blah blah? And it's like I don't know.
And then on Sunday, Harder Brunch, we're gonna like curate like a bougie brunch for the last day.
Ooh, see, that would be my favorite portion.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to come for that. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I think camping was one of my favorite. I remember not wanting to go to summer camp and being like, I can't believe you're making me go. You don't even love me. You're sending me away for 2 weeks.
You sound like your daughter.
Didn't want to come back.
Yep.
Was like, can we stay for the next session? Do I really have to come back? Like, camp is really an experience. So if you guys are even like recreating
it's like college without the homework
of that, like that is a really great idea. Yes, college without the homework for sure. All the fun stuff. So you guys check that out. I will put all of that information in our notes. You guys be sure to follow the Harder Brunch. It's an awesome podcast. Like I said, we are, not only fans of your show, but hopefully, we're kind of like friends now, right? We're podcasting buddies.
Absolutely.
It's good to know you guys. It's pretty, nice tribe shaking
comrades.
Yes, very much so.
Colleagues, if you would.
Yes, colleagues. I like it. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I don't know, was there anything you wanted to add before? I already mentioned the, IBE stuff. You guys were coming up July 16th on Sunday from 3 to 4. Come out.
And I'll be doing a live paint that Friday at IBE too.
Let's go. We're gonna listen.
We're gonna be up
get
there.
On the social media
we'll be
stuff.
around.
I have to get my life together. So
and I'm doing all this stuff because my body belongs to me and your body belongs to you.
Yes. And life is short, you guys. Be involved in the things that make you feel good. Yeah, we're only here for a little bit of time, so make it make sense. So enjoy. And you guys, I don't know, when does this come out? I can't do the time.
Like
thing.
2 days.
What is right now though?
Today's
It'll
Monday.
be the 4th. It'll be past. So happy holiday if y'all.
Yeah.
I know we're not
Independence
supposed to celebrate.
Day.
Y'all,
I celebrate everything.
Enjoy your day off.
Yeah, enjoy
How
your day
about
off.
that? Okay, we can all get behind that.
Yeah,
so
I think we
enjoy
can
your
all
day
agree the British were terrible.
They were, and so yeah. So spend some time with your family, you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.